All right. What is up, everybody? It's the commissioner here, Jimmy Milstead. The league fantasy hockey week 7 is underway, and we're with the Storksdesk, episode 8. It is Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday, November the 22nd, 2022. Time is flying by. I'm with my favorite Canadian, Kevin Stork, up there. God, I ask you this every time, Stork. Maple Ridge, right?
Maple Ridge, but you got it right today.
I get it's Maple Ridge, Surrey, always mixed up. But I gotta visit you more, and then I'll have it beat into my brain. But what is up, Stork? We're just starting week 7 of the NHL season and our fantasy league. I think things are running smooth. It's been an exciting 7 weeks of action. We got some teams that look pretty good and primed and ready for that Stork Cup. What are your thoughts of last week, buddy? We'll run down the scores in a minute.
Yeah, it was a good week. We got some teams that are looking really good, and we got some teams that gotta get some work done. That's for sure.
Yeah, one of those teams is Jaden Halsey, Texas freezing Mike Kuznetsov's. Snake bit had a lead, a big lead actually.
I know. Yeah.
Waylon Womack, credit to this guy. Unfortunately, condolences, Waylon. By the way, he's or not a head coach. He's the defensive coordinator for the Onalaska Loggers. Deep in a playoff, high school playoff team run, and they finally got beat. So all of his, I mean, he might be happy for all I know. Long season for him. Condolences for the loss, but now he turns to hockey. So good luck to the rest of the league, by the way, to that. But he credit to him, he comes all the way back and ties Jaden, steals a point, 9-9 that one. Uh, an incredible effort. Waylon Womack, he hasn't lost since starting 0-2, Stork.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jay, it's too bad because it looked like he had the win, but at least he didn't lose the game. He got a tie, so he gets
Yeah.
himself a point.
So
So
basically,
he's 0-4 and 2 now, so he can he a couple of wins and he's right back in the race again. So I mean, he
exactly.
definitely wants to win this week. He doesn't want to fall to 0-5 and 2. So this week is huge for Jay.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, just like in the NHL. The measuring stick is the American Thanksgiving for a lot of these NHL teams. Are they playoff teams? Are they pretenders? Same with us here in the fantasy league. Jaden scratching and clawing for every point he can get. Hey, 2 ties equals a win, pretty much. And now he's
There you
playing.
go.
Now he's playing this week, and Don Cherry has told me in my earpiece that this is the matchup of the week. Him and the 1-5 Frozen Norseman, Nick Reedy. This guy lost the battle of 1-4s with the pipe players. Tim Kelly. Tim got the big win, courtesy of some Maple Leafs of yours, Austin Matthews. We'll have some Leafs talk in a little bit, but there's a lot to talk about actually about the Leafs. But what do you think of the Frozen Norseman? What's going on with Nick Reedy? Is he frostbite or what?
Yeah, I think he is, man. He's had some tough luck, and that's continuing into this week against another tough luck team in Texas. But as you know, it's only Tuesday. There's still a lot of hockey this week, and aside from Thursday where there's no games, there's a lot of games. Friday and Saturday especially, we're jam packed full of hockey. So lots of time to get some points and get back at it. The Norsemen have been snake bit along with Texas, so it's the sad sack game. But one of those teams is going to come out with 2 points this week.
Yeah, Don Cherry has stated it's the matchup of the 2 hams. So that's actually his matchup of the week. So I think we'll get to Don Cherry's rankings in a minute, but the loser of this one, oh man, it's going to be really hard to climb back in the race. But 21 weeks, never say never, but imperative for one of these 2 guys, and it's one of Don Cherry's matchups of the week, just watch and observe. So I can't wait to see the fallout in that one. But only two.
I've seen in fantasy hockey teams go 1-6, 1-7, and they fought back in the second half and got themselves playoff spots. So anything can happen in fantasy hockey. You can get real hot in this league.
Yep. Just like a lot of these NHL teams. Look at the New Jersey Devils, 13 straight. They beat the Edmonton Oilers last night 5-2. This team's just getting it done. Will they lose another game the rest of the year? I mean, you know all these teams are going to go through lulls, but, man, I don't know what is up with that team right now. But
I'll tell you what, man. I told you New Jersey was for real, that they're a good team to watch, and they're going to be exciting, and they're young, they're fast, and they have a good system, and it's working for them. And it's no accident that they're playing the way they are. They are for real. The New Jersey Devils are for real.
I saw them. I actually watched that game last night against the Oilers, and wow, what chemistry between that Jasper Bratt and Jack Hughes. They're quick, and I like the way their power play moves the puck. And then they're getting it done from Vitek Vanacek, former Capital, in the net. They still, I'm not sure even who their backup is right now. I know Mackenzie Blackwood's been hurt. So, yeah. I mean, you know, all these.
The only concern in New Jersey is goaltending. And, I mean, that's the only weak spot that I see on this team. Their defense is really good. If you look at their D, they got guys that can move the puck. They got some guys that can play defense. They got a top six forwards that are as good as anybody in the league. And that youth and enthusiasm, I concern myself with them is the goaltending. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold up for a full season with the goaltending they have.
Yeah, I want to see how I think I've talked to you offline here. I want to see how they respond after maybe a little lull. They're definitely a playoff team, no doubt about it. I want to see how they respond after maybe let's say a couple games they drop. You know, I want to see the spark to get back to the winning ways before I put them maybe Stanley Cup contendership. But we know how it goes. There's 82 NHL games in a regular season, and
every team has their ebbs and flows. So we'll just see what they do when they hit that little wall. It could be injuries or just some bad play, but we'll see how that goes for them.
And you know what, Stork? They're not even the hottest team in the NHL. What do you think of your hated Boston Bruins? Patrice Bergeron last night gets his 1,000th point. All the team comes off the bench. I thought that was a great moment, by the way. Love or hate the Bruins, Patrice Bergeron is a hell of a player.
Well, I have nothing but respect for Patrice Bergeron. He's a hell of a hockey player, and the rest of the Bruins can suck rocks. But I like Bergeron. I'd love to see him in a Maple Leaf uniform.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. What is he, 39 right now? I mean,
I don't think he's that old, but he's up there.
Yeah, he's like Ovi, maybe 37. Maybe I probably.
Yeah, I think about 37. Yeah.
Probably disrespected him there, calling. I mean, that's not even old to me, but hockey old.
He's still a solid player, and he hasn't changed a bit.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't wait to see them play the Devils. I was asking her. I haven't looked at the schedule. I want to know when the Bruins play the Devils. That would be a great match.
That'll be something else.
Yeah, these aren't. I never watched the Devils as much as I have these past few weeks. They used to bore me, but man,
they're not fast. Boring anymore.
Yeah, and the Bruins, they're getting the goaltending, and they got Pasta. Their defense is playing good, and they're I don't know. I didn't think the Bruins would be this good, so credit to them. Even though I'm like you, I'm not a big Bruins fan. I'd like to see them.
I despise them. I despise them.
Yep. So, well, let's talk about fantasy here quick. Last week, Man, I'll tell you what, the Nova Fire Brigade, they handed me a big loss, 15-7 over the Adna Americans last week. Scott Lanham has a great fantasy team there. He's 5-1 now. Adna drops to 3-3. You had Julio Huma. They defeated the Langley Scorpions, Stork, by 1 point, 12-11. Like you said, it was the last day. Good thrilling matchup. Just the Langley Scorpions ran out of gas. Langley goes to 3-3. Julio, who previously tied Jaden, is now 2-3-1, and he's very much in the mix. As we said, Jaden tied Waylon 9-9, so he is 0-4-2 now. Waylon was on a winning streak of 3 games. It came to kind of a halt. He had a tie, but he still picks up an interesting point. I think he's still on fire. 3-2-1, Washington won Dingo. DB Cooper, this was our matchup of the week. DB Cooper, we got to get into this match, Stork. Pounds the previously undefeated Dave Snellgrove's Probert.
Yay!
There's no booing this week.
No booing on that score.
Stork is happy. Like this is like the Maple Leafs beating the Bruins. Mark Raymond just pounded Dave Snellgrove 16-3. It was all DB Cooper that week. I thought this would have been more competitive, albeit Connor McDavid only played 2 games. But hey, that's how the schedule goes sometimes. DB Cooper, I think he's got Jason Robertson. What do you think of this guy as a MVP candidate?
Ooh, Jason Robertson. He's a hell of a hockey player. I've got him on a couple of my fantasy teams actually. He's a good young player, and he's got a little brother who plays for the Leafs, Nick Robertson. Not quite as good as his brother Jason, but yeah, he's a good hockey player, man.
Yeah, he seems a lot shorter than Jason's. Like a tall, lanky kid. He's got to be 6'3" or something.
Yeah, he's a big kid, but his brother's complete opposite. He's only like 5'9", 5'10", or something like that.
Yeah, the jury's still out for Nick. I haven't watched him play too much, but wow, that Jason Robertson. Every time I watch a Stars game, this guy's putting the puck in the net. They lost to the Avalanche last night. That was a good game. I don't know if you watched that. The Stars, unfortunately, took it to overtime, and half the overtime, Nathan McKinnon and the Avalanche were on the power play. I'm surprised they even took it to a shootout. Jake Ottinger, very impressive, even though he got the loss. Actually kept that one alive for them to try to win it in overtime. But, yeah, Jason Robertson's been unbelievable. But back to the scores real quick from last week. Josh Halsey finally gets back in the win column. He beats the Woody Woodpeckers and Mark Wood 11-8. Josh is now 4-2. Mark falls to 2-4. Mark just runs out of gas at the end of the weeks. I'm not sure what his problem is. I think goaltending might be his issue. And then last but not least, this was the previous, what were we going to call it? The toilet bowl? I know it's Thanksgiving. DuPont finally gets a win. They beat Nick's Frozen Norseman 11-9. Tim Kelly goes to 2-4. And a big win. His goaltending been suspect, but he survives on offense. So that was last week's score, Stork. Anything stand out to you?
Well, I mean, my game in particular stands out to me because, like you mentioned, hats off to Julio. He out-strategized me. And he, on Sunday, right up till almost game time, I had it marked where I had a win, and I was very confident in him. And then I look when the games start, and all of a sudden, he benched Bobrovsky and just took the wind out of my sails, kind of. All of a sudden, I had a chance to win. I needed Tucker to score a goal and at least get a tie out of it. That didn't happen either. So, Julio, I'm going to mark this one on the schedule. Our next meeting, I'm going to remember that.
Yep, you get these divisional opponents 3 times, so that's what's interesting. Like, and my hats off to Scott Lanham. I think you, Stork, or Mark Raymond. I think it was you that beat me with 24 goals last week.
Yeah,
Scott Lanham performance last week of the ages, 23 goals he put up, and he's still playing pretty good right now. He just bombarded Adna all around. And he is the #1 team right now. We might want to get to the Don Cherry rankings here. This has been a good show so far. It's flowing. What was I going to say though? Back to the matchup last Sunday night. It was impressive watch when we watched that tie between Waylon and Jaden. I was watching that Chicago Blackhawks Pittsburgh Penguins game here in Myrtle Beach. By the way, that's where I'm at, guys. I forgot to say greetings from Myrtle Beach. I'm at my parents' house. But we were watching the game on ESPN Plus here, and Waylon could have and should have won that game as he had multiple ways to win it. Raquel tried to get a game winner goal. He had it at one point, but then Chicago tied it up. And then he also had Max Domi almost put one in. That would have put him 1 goal ahead of Jaden. So that was like a really entertaining fantasy watch. If you're a geek like me and you watch Stat Tracker, your match at that time was already pretty much in the books, but your game was good as well. So for us fantasy geeks, I had a blast watching that match. Kudos to Waylon scratching and clawing to get back that tie, and condolences to Jaden because I know he wanted it. But that puts a bow on week 6. We're on a busy Thanksgiving week here. Like you said, there's a lot of games. Only 2 tonight, but what do we got? We got Buffalo hosting, or they're at Montreal. They take on the Habs at 7:00 Eastern. And it late tonight on the West Coast, your side of the planet right now, Stork. I'm going to watch this game. The New York Rangers and the LA Kings. We had 10 games last night to kick off week 7. What do you think of this busy week?
Oh, it's a bit of a crazy week because of Thanksgiving and everything. Having no games on a Thursday is kind of weird. So they're cramming all the games into Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I think they've only got like 4 or 5 games on Sunday, but yeah, it's definitely a weird week for games. But like I mentioned, there's a lot of hockey games this week, so lots of points out there available for the fantasy teams this week.
Yeah, what's a Canadian think? Us stupid Americans celebrating on Thursday, and then take away. They just like rip the red carpet out from the.
You know what? I love it because I love watching 3 football games on a Thursday, especially when you're into fantasy football like I am. Yeah, it's all right. I can deal with it. I got lots of football on my menu.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'll be watching as kind of a non-football fan anymore. But I must say, I have to also congratulate you, Stork. Grey Cup, Toronto Argonauts. They get it done.
Do they actually get that down there?
Well, I mean, I saw, actually, they do put it on, I forget what network. It's not the NFL network. What did they put it on? It's viewable. I could not tell you what happens, but how many Grey Cups do the Toronto Argonauts have? I remember the Rocket Ismail used to play for them.
Yeah, that's back in the 90s, man. I'll tell you what, this year, the 109th Grey Cup game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the CFL's been around for a long time, man. And that game yesterday, or Sunday, I should say, it was a hell of a game for a CFL. I'm not as big into the CFL as I am the NFL, but I'll tell you what. I mean, I do follow the CFL, and I root for the Argos. And that was a hell of a game. It was a really enjoyable, entertaining football game. Nice. And I'm glad my Argos came out on top, so that's good.
Yeah. They got cool uniforms, I know that. And I know
the double blue, that's what their nickname is.
This probably won't do much to the audience except for maybe Dave, but I do have a can't remember the year. Classic came out with these hockey cards, and the Rocket Rahib Ismail, running back, former what was he, Notre Dame standout, played for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah. Well, he
yeah,
ended up going to CFL, but I have a hockey card, Stork, of him in hockey uniforms. It was one of those draft pick sets, classic
yeah,
cards
yeah.
put out.
The
I have
small
a
sets.
yeah, so I have him in hockey gear. It's pretty cool, but yeah, raise the glass to the Toronto Argonauts, buddy.
Yeah, right on, man.
So congrats, but I guess that'll substitute for the Leafs talk. Well, we'll talk about the Leafs here right now. How about that? What are your thoughts? They just put Morgan Riley on LTIR, from what I understand. I need a knee injury or something from last night's game. I missed it.
Yeah, it was an accident, purely an accident. He ran into one of the Islander players, and they were both looking up the ice. They didn't even see each other. And Morgan, I think he hurt his leg a little bit, but it's after, I guess, the medical inspection there, they found out that he's got something a little worse. It's not a Charlie horse or anything like that.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of ligament damage, so he's going to be out for at least another 20, 24 days. So
Yeah. Well, that's
hopefully he's okay, because that's the Leafs are going to have to get a defenseman.
yeah.
I mean, they've got too many injuries on defense. They're going to have to. I know there's been talk about a possible trade with the Canucks to get the big boy Myers in Toronto, and
Yeah.
that might just get the talks going, because they were talking about that before Morgan got hurt. Now they're in a position where they need to get a defenseman, or they're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, Tyler Myers, a big man on the blue line out there in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Mitch Marner's not still playing defense, is he? I missed that game.
No, that was ridiculous. To have
Oh
Mitch
yeah,
Marner. You know,
that's gotta drive you nuts.
oh, can you see him getting down there and blocking shots in front of the net and clearing guys out of the net? No, that's not his job.
Yeah.
I don't
But
even know where that talk came from, because that's absolutely ridiculous.
It must be down here in the States. I thought maybe he had actually done it. I don't know. Yeah, stupid American media down here. But anyways.
Oh, it was up here too, believe me.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, they were talking about it, and I mean, I don't even know where the conversation came from, but
yeah.
Mitch Marner should not be playing defense for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, period.
Well,
if they want to put him on there during practice, go ahead, see what happens. But I don't want him blocking shots, and he's only like 175 pounds. Who's he going to knock away from the net? I mean, come on.
Well, he'd be instantly your best puck-moving defenseman, that's for sure. But let's get to Don Cherry's Week 6 poll rankings. Obviously, a shakeup at the top. The Nova Fire Brigade, his preseason favorite, if you remember that, Stork. I don't know. We're already 7 weeks in. This is our 8th YouTube show, but got Lanham back at the top spot. He overtakes Dave Snellgrove's undefeated team. They're both 5-1, but I can't wait to see those two face off, by the way. But Nova Fire Brigade at number 1, Probert Etiquette at number 2. Mark Raymond, he's Mr. Consistent. He stays at number 3, Stork. He had a nice week beating Probert Etiquette. You could argue maybe he should be the number 2 team, but he's still got 2 losses. He stays at number 3. The Wyoming Great Apes, Josh Halsey moves back up 2 spots to number 4. And finally, Don Cherry gives Waylon Womack. There's a lot of W's. Waylon Womack's Washington Wendigo. Yeah, he moves up to the from 7 to 5. Hey, you finally passed Jimmy Stork. Langley Scorpions, finally. You beat the Adna Americans. You finally get the proper respect, but you actually dropped a spot to number 6 from number 5. Adna is now 7th. They were in number 4. They dropped 3 spots. Julio moves up to ranking number 8. The Woody Woodpeckers, I think they have a good team. They just been losing too much. They fall to number 9. Tim Kelly moves up to number 10. Texas, actually, with 0 wins to Don Cherry, he's ranked number 11. So finally, he gets out of the cellar, and our new cellar team is Nick Reedy. What are your thoughts, Stork? Is Don Cherry got this wrong?
Oh no, I think he's pulling out the sympathy card for Jay. I mean, had a victory stolen right from underneath him. He was already heading to the bank with that, and next thing you know, it was 9-9. But hey, I think he's going to win this week.
Yeah, I do too. I haven't even looked at the stat tracker. Let's take a look at it right now. The matchups for week 7, which night 2 has already begun. We've got myself, the Latin Americans, taking on the Julio's Yuma. By the way, this is our second week of non-divisional play, so this is an interesting week. We got matchups you won't see too often as the Gretzky division takes on the Ovechkin division. I lost my piece of paper here. What are we at? Or actually, it's Julio at Jimmy. So that's a pretty close matchup as we speak. It's 8-7 at the moment. Those Nova Fire Brigade. Wow, Stork, you are visiting a tough opponent back there in Virginia. Nova, if you don't know what Nova stands for, is basically Northern Virginia. So he's playing right where the Capitals practice. Scott is humming right now, 15-5. It's early, but tough draw this week for Stork. I would like to see a Stork win. Help me out in the division, Stork. What else we got? We got Jaden. He's actually got a pretty good lead out of the gates over the Frozen Norseman in the what we call the matchup of the 2 hams. Nick Reedy. Yeah, the toilet bowl, exactly. I think Jaden, though, can get some wins together as soon as he gets his first win. But he's got a pretty good lead out the gates, 13-5. Then what was Grapes' matchup of the week? Oh, that was the matchup of the week, the bottom feeders. DB Cooper, Mark Raymond, he's hosting Wayland. This is a great match. Wayland out of the gates so far, 14-6. I haven't dived into the stats too much to see what's going on, but Wayland, is getting face-offs with all those centers, and he's got Bergeron. Let's see, DuPont Pipe Players, they're taking on, actually Josh is at Tim. Right now, that one's close, 9-7. Tim Kelly's winning. I'm looking forward to seeing that game. Tim can be right back in it with a big win. And then, unfortunate, Mark Wood has to be on the road against Dave's Probert Etiquette. Dave's got to be licking his wounds and licking his chops to get back in the win column. He's out in front right now, 11-6. What's your favorite matchup of the week besides your game, Stork?
Not besides my game. Well, I'm watching the toilet bowl. I'm rooting for both of them, but just because Texas doesn't have a win yet, and they had one stolen, I'm rooting for Texas, and that's the game I'm watching. But I always enjoy watching Probert Etiquette get beat. So
yeah.
Come on, Mark. Beat these guys, because I'm going to beat them up next week.
Attaboy. So, Stork gets to play. I think your division's pretty tough. I think the Ovechkin is just as competitive. Man, we're smack dab. We're just 1/3 done with the season, if you can believe that, actually. But 21 weeks.
Speaking of that, Jimmy, I just wanted to put it out there that the prognosticator is going to be after week 10 is over, where we're about halfway through the season. The prognosticator is going to be doing mid-season report cards. So get your teams ready and get those tests complete and those assignments complete, because the report cards are coming out.
Make sure you use a number 2 pencil. But I'm looking forward to that, buddy. We got some, like you said, a busy week of hockey here. Besides Thanksgiving, that's the only day there's no games, and I'm really looking forward to. There's only 2 games tonight. So this is like an appetizer night. Tomorrow night, a heavy a dose. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be a fun week. There was one other topic before our show ends. Did we even bring up Julio Huma,
Oh,
my
the
opponent?
injury. The
Yeah, we wanted
injury
to talk
issue.
about the IR option. Did you want to explain that?
All right. So how it is in ESPN, if a player is listed as out, you can put them on IR. But for some reason, Yahoo, and that's where we are, it has nothing to do with what we did and what we set up. Yahoo, when you're DDT or listed out, you cannot put them on the injury list. So just to clear that up, that's how it is in Yahoo, and we got to deal with it because there's nothing we can do to change that.
Yeah. So I hated not having an answer because I didn't. I know and like you said, in certain leagues, if a guy has an O for out, I think Julio. It has happened for me with Jake Ottinger. He was out for 1 week, and I was unable to put him on the IR, which was unfortunate because I would have loved to. Well, that was the week before I had my bad loss against Scott, but I would have loved to have been able to pick up another player, and I couldn't put him on there. So it's just the way the Yahoo is designed. So I don't know. Like I said, every week, if you see something, so I'm glad Julio pointed that out because we can get to the bottom of it. There's always ways to improve our league, and we'll make it even better next year. But that's pretty much all I have, Stork. I wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, even though you already celebrated it in October. But have another plate, like I said last week, buddy.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited, man. I'm on vacation. I'm at my parents'. I'm drinking a few beers. I'm gonna watch 2 hockey games tonight. What's your
It's
thoughts,
all
man?
good.
You're
It's
off
all
till
good.
Friday. You're off till Friday, right?
I am. I got the whole week off, so I'm pretty happy about that. I don't have to work till Friday, so I'm just going to be watching some football on Thursday. Like you said, I'm going to watch the 2 games today, and then Wednesday and this weekend we got lots of hockey.
Right on. Yeah, I'm excited, man. And you even picked up some Tim Hortons hockey cards. I'm jealous. These
Yeah,
that's
just
like
for the
gold right
hockey
there.
picks. Pull some cards out. I'm looking for some particular cards for my set, so wish me luck on that.
Yeah, let me know how that goes, buddy. Good luck in your rips. That's all I got. Stork, always great, pleasure to talk to you, buddy. Thanks for your patience. I'm glad we got this in. I don't even know what time it is. It's almost 6 o'clock here on the East Coast, but
Yeah.
we got some time to the opening puck drop tonight. Good luck in everybody's fantasy teams and games on this week, and a happy Thanksgiving all around.
Yeah. And I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the league. Hope you have some good turkey or some good ham or whatever it is you're doing and have a good time. Enjoy some football on Thursday. Family and friends. That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir. If John Madden was still here with us, it'd be a turducken. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Man, I
hey,
miss that guy.
Yeah, he was a blast. So,
Yeah,
we'll talk to you next week, Stork. Actually, I'm thinking I'll be at work this time next week, coming off of a flight. I'll have to get with you offline. To be determined next week's episode 9, but we'll get it in. I'll let you know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
Maybe we can even do it.
You have a good time back east with your parents. I know you're missing the girls right now.
Yeah.
But have a good time and feast and enjoy hockey.
Amen, brother. Hey, love the hell out of you.
All right,
good luck.
buddy.
Like we told everybody, good luck in their matchups, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, like Badger Bob always says, it's a great day for hockey. Good night.